All right. Hello, YouTube Internet. Once again, I'm back. Tyler Vinyl. That's what I've decided to call this thing, this YouTube channel. Here's all my records. Today's video, I don't know, I'm just kind of freestyling it. Felt like making a video. So this cube right here is kind of like my newer stuff and a lot of like vaporwave, synthwave, or just like indie rock that has a lot of like influence with like kind of cheesy synthesizers, whether it's like kind of stuff that's been influenced by Tame Impala or Mac DeMarco using like the Juno synthesizer or Yamaha DX7. Here's my cat being cute, Scooter. Hey, I'm making a video. What are you doing? You're messing everything up. Anyway, I don't know. I just want to show off some records, just kind of talk about them, talk about why I like them, what they sound like, and I'll probably do a lot of just name dropping of like, oh yeah, here's this record, and you might like it because I think it sounds like this, and maybe you've heard of that band. Just kind of want to talk a little bit about records with you. Make some internet friends, maybe. I don't know. Okay, so how should I do this? Yeah, I think I'll just pull them out one by one and then put them back face like this so I can put them back in the way they were. It's kind of just, it's not alphabetized at all. I just kind of have it in somewhat by like what sounds like what. So this, it's going to kind of start with more indie rock, pop, synth pop, work its way into like more vaporwave, synth wave, and then either later here I got some more just kind of like female artists over here. Like I got churches in here. Purity Ring. So spoiler alert. Yeah. So start off. Neon Indians, Vega International Night School, just an absolute classic. I mean, I got into him. Like I started getting into chillwave pretty close to when it started. Like I would say around 2010, 2011, I really started to get into chillwave. Psychic Chasm, huge influence on my music taste. And then I liked his next album. God, what is it called? E something. I don't remember because I didn't listen to it that much. But then I feel like he really returned to form, and this is like his magnum opus, his Tame Impala Currents, if you want to say that. I don't know. Yeah, just a lot of sounds. The production on this thing is just crazy. Just so many little things going on in the mix. You could just listen to any song on here and hear something new every time you listen to it. Like it's a 50 album listen. Like you'll listen to it 50 times and you still will hear things that are new. All right, moving along. Okay, so now we got my washed out records. Maybe I'll just pull all of them out here. So it's kind of just got them chronological. So I got Within Without, Paracosm, which is definitely my favorite washed out album. Mellow, Mr. Mellow, great album. Purple Noon, his newest one, also great. If I had to rank them, I would probably go Paracosm, Within Without, Mr. Mellow, and then Purple Noon. You know, maybe even Mr. Mellow over Within Without. Depends what mood I'm in. They're pretty different. This is like a blissed out. You can almost just put this on as you're going to sleep and fall asleep to these like washy melodies. Washy. This is more like kind of hip hop sample based influenced. Still some like trippy spaced out songs, but it changes a lot of shorter tracks. Not something you'd want to fall asleep to. Something you'd want to just dance and clean, do the dishes to. This one I feel like it's just classic. Can't go wrong, washed out sound. This one just puts you in another world. This like it's a thematic album with all these lush jungle and like nature sounds going on in the background in a lot of these tracks. Definitely put this on if I don't know, like it's not really like it, but if you like that Plantasia album, that like modular synthesis album for plants, like thematically you'll dig something like this. Still, I mean, I don't have his first EP. I would definitely want to get that. That was one of the along with Neon Indian Psychic Chasms, an album that really influenced me back in the day, 2010. Yeah, and then going right along with old school chill wave, we've got Small Black, New Chain. This is the first one I heard, also around that same time, listening to Neon Indian and Washed Out, all those chill wave artists. Tori Ma, another one. We might be in here. He might be up here. And then his next album, Limited Desire, almost more going into the direction of like M83 on this one. So if you like M83, I would check this one out. You know, if you like crunchy lo-fi chill wave like Washed Out, check this one out. Washed Out and Small Black actually have teamed up before on an EP. They covered each other's songs. I think Despicable Dogs and I forget the other one, the Washed Out song, the Small Black cover, but it doesn't matter. All right, moving along, we got some newer indie rock artist, Munya. I don't know much about her. I think she like French. I want to say she is. Yeah, what are these songs? Not a lot of them, but one of them. Des Bissois Partour. I don't know how to pronounce French. First song sounds like it's French. Anyway, I don't know what. I'm just blabbling on. I don't know what else sounds like. Just check this one out. I got nothing. No comparisons there. It's original. Maybe like, oh, how do I know? Nope. Okay. Bari. Wait. Is she French too? I like all these French bands. I don't think she might be French. I don't know. Anyway. Barry. I don't know how to pronounce it. Super good, just like female-led synth pop songs. I don't know how to, like, there's a lot of, I don't know. I'll just go through them really quick and then try to talk about this like upcoming DIY genre that I don't really know how to put a label on it. But we got artists like Morabezo Tobacco. I got DuckTales, part of Real Estate, former Real Estate member. What is this guy called again? Divino Nino. Hoops. Well, all this stuff sounds pretty similar. Cones. We got some boy Pablo. Just got this one recently, Blush. Oh, not the Blush is the name of the album. An album by Secret Attraction. A lot of times I'm just cruising Spotify and Bandcamp, listening to stuff daily, looking for new artists that I think I'll like. And it's hard to remember the names of all these bands. I don't know, I'm just kind of a music junkie. I'm always looking for new music. And, you know, my philosophy is if I like it, I want to support these up and coming artists. So I'll buy their records, and I know down the line, you know, if I ever am not listening to it or don't like it anymore, I know a lot of these are like, you know, limited edition pressings and stuff. So they'll have some resale value if I ever do decide to resell them and make someone else happy. We got Video Age. This is a band that I've liked a lot. They use a lot of like classic 80s sounds. Like they can sound like Talking Heads sometimes. This album in particular sometimes, I don't know, maybe it's the artwork too. It kind of reminds me of, what is the band? Mild High Club. I feel like that's a good band to kind of think of how all these bands that I've kind of just shown recently have stemmed from like Mac DeMarco, Mild High Club, or Home Shake, like this kind of DIY, like lo-fi bedroom synth pop. But it's gone from that to there's so many bands now trying to use this sound, and it, like a lot of people have gotten really good at it, like a lot of these, in my opinion. This artist, Still Parade, this album's called Concrete Vision. This is great. This gets close to like Kevin Parker, Tame Impala production. If you like Tame Impala, check this out. Also, this reminds me of another album, which could easily be in here, but I put it up here. Where are you? Here it is. Put it next to Tame Impala. Kainalu, Lotus Gate. Check this out. It could sound like Tori Ma or Tame Impala, depending on the song, but You know, he's got originality too. You know, whenever I say something sounds like something, it's never like a diss. I love when things sound like something that I like. Like if I hear an artist and I'm like, wow, this sounds exactly like Tame Impala, I know what they're going for. Like, so what? That's what I want to hear if that's what I like. So I don't see that as a negativity. A lot of times people will be like, oh, this sounds just like this. It's like, well, sure. I mean, you can say anything. Oh, this is derivative of the Beatles or Pink Floyd. Everyone's kind of influenced and copying other people. And it's all subjective. Got some vodka lemon tonic here. Let's keep blabbling. Undercover Dream Lovers. Undercover Dream Lovers. It's all in your head. New band I've discovered. Here's their EP of some singles that were prior release to this. This was a 2020 release. This is great. This sounds like if you like Starfucker, or again, I'll say some. It's got Tame Impala, Tori Moa vibes. Very dancey, very good pop tracks. The Symposium. This is a little more like kind of lo-fi rock, and each song on this album has like a fun little lo-fi interlude, maybe. Maybe an interlude. It's like each track is 2 tracks. So let's see, there's 10 tracks on here, but really there's like 20 tracks because each track is kind of like a 2-part thing. Kind of hard to explain, but some good grooves on here, you know. Comparisons would be, I don't know, kind of like some of this other stuff, if you know that. Vampire, actually, I have this next to this because I think these sound pretty similar. This is actually kind of, a lot of these are from like the last 5 years. This is from, I think, like 2013. This was a kind of a band that I feel like this album had to have inspired a lot of some of these other ones I've showed you, like The Symposium or say Hoops had to have been inspired by Vampire, I would think. Yeah, great. They're on Polyvinyl label. I think I saw them play. No, nobody cares about where I saw them play. Gap Dream. Don't know much about them, but it's groovy. Check it out. Aha, here's the one. I still want his first album, or their first album. I think it's a band, but there's one guy on here. Choir Boy. This is amazing. It's like synthwave, dark wave, like kind of like it's got New Order vibes, or even like maybe even The Cure or something. Just kind of that dark. Even like some. Where is it? I got, Molchat Doma. Anybody know Molchat Doma? It's not like that, but it's just kind of gives me those similar kind of gothic vibes, but I don't know. It's got some, like Sweet Candy is a great song. If you know this, you'll make a connection here. Sweet Candy is the cut. Toxic Eye is great. Title track. Yeah. Is it the title track? What is this album called? That's not. Gathering Swans is the name of this album, but the song Toxic Eye feels like a title track because he's got like a gross eye here, and there's a song called Toxic Eye, so maybe you should have called the album Toxic Eye. I don't know. I'm just a guy in his room talking to himself to a camera, and maybe someone will listen. All right, now we're going to slowly work our way into some more synth and vaporwavy stuff. Although this is more rock, like Tame Impala influenced again. A band called Surfing. Their first album was very much vaporwave, but they've since kind of morphed into doing some more guitar-oriented things. And this is worth checking out on the 100% Electronica label, which I will have some more releases here, which is George Clanton's label. Which, speaking of which, here is George Clanton and Nick Hexum's of 311, of all people, their collaboration album. This is a really fun, unexpected album. George Clanton on production. What's his name? Nick Hexum of 311 on vocals, and It's a goofy album, but it's fun. It's like a good, goofy summertime album. Yeah. Okay, here we go. One of my favorites, Brother Tiger. I got his newest one, this EP, this one with the hand. I know their names. Paradise Lost, Cloud of Chain of Clouds. What is it called? Chain of Islands. And oh man, testing my memory here. What is this one called? Out of Touch. That's one of the songs. It is called Out of Touch. I know what I'm talking about. Anyway, Brother Tiger. You might know him. Well, I don't know why you would know him from this and not his other stuff, but he did a cover album of Tears for Fears' Song for the Big Chair, which you should check out. I don't know. I think that did get pressed to vinyl. It's probably really expensive somewhere. I don't have it. I'll have to look for that. Anyway, good synth pop, chill wave type stuff. Moving along, we got Dan Mason's Forever Nothing, another 100% electronica release. Good kind of, you can't really call it Vaporwave, although he's made Vaporwave in the past, but this is really just kind of synth pop with some Vaporwave touches to it. Yeah, every track, I think maybe one or two don't, but most of them have vocals, you know, verse, chorus, and I love that. I want to hear more synth pop that has just Vaporwave influence. And that's kind of what like George Clanton is doing. He's taking the Vaporwave genre and kind of making synth pop, synth rock with Vaporwave tinge. And I love it. All right, how long has it even been? 10, 15 minutes? About halfway through. It's going to be a long video. If you've made it this far, you're probably going to watch the rest. So, thank you. Donnie Benet. If you don't know Donnie Benet, fuck you. Just kidding. Mr. Experience is an awesome album. Look at me laughing at myself. Yeah. Okay, what if that was me? Goofy, parody-esque, but still serious production. Great pop, like synth pop, like classic 80s, like vibe to it. Like you can just look at the cover, like, I don't know, let's see, what is, if I can find a album here that resembles this cover. My 80s section, this will take me forever. Everybody is now clicking to another video, because I'm obviously stalling and don't know what I'm talking about. Anyway, just look at it, and if you know anything about anything with records and 80s records, you'll know what I'm talking about. Namaste. Dinner. This is some weird shit. When I first heard this, like, there's this song on this album called Going Out Tonight. And I just burst into laughter hearing this because it is so funny and you can't really tell at first if he's being serious or not. And I still don't know. And if you're watching this and you're serious, I'm sorry if I've offended you. But your voice sounds so, the voice on this sounds so goofy. But I love it. It's like going for that deep, Tears for Fears, like that kind of sound. Like the melody's like, we're going out tonight. Like it just sounds ridiculous. But I mean, the song itself, the instrumental, is so catchy, so well produced. Like I ended up buying it because it's just entertaining music to listen to, and throw it on with some friends, and they'll be like, what the heck? And you'll get a kick out of it. You'll be the life of the party. Ice Choir. Great, just fucking like hyper pop, like surreal, almost like surreal pop, like in the sense of like M83, or it's got synthwave and vaporwave elements to it, like Japanese like hyper pop elements to it. Yeah, check it out. This is kind of a grail. I know maybe for a lot of people. Can be an expensive record to buy. Le Cassette. Left to our own devices. This is like, has so much variety from synthwave, retrowave to vaporwave. It also has kind of like that deep Tears for Fears like type of like cheesy 80s vocals. That's why I have it next to these. And yeah, if you like that kind of stuff, you're gonna love this. You know, and if you like I don't really have many records that are like this, like the classic Vice Wave, Retrowave, like Time Cop 1983 or Kavinsky. But if you like that, there's definitely a lot of good elements in here of that. All right, here's George Clanton. I'm a huge George Clanton fan, and I'll try not to fanboy too hard on him. Just, I'm letting you know. I'm a George Clanton fanboy. Got slide, 100%. 200%, and that's it. Not that big of a fanboy. Anyway, Satin Sheets, another 100% electronic release. Sounds a lot like George Clanton's Esprit, which is this Esprit. Yeah, it sounds a lot like this, but his first one, Virtua.zip. I did have that album, but then I decided to sell it because I knew eventually he would be repressing them, and he has, so I can always go back and now pick that up. I think I got some time before that's close to selling out. Pick that up for 20 something bucks. Or I might get it on cassette. I have cassettes up here too. Another thing I do, I don't know if you're like me and you do this. I've got a cassette recorder and I'll just plug my phone in and record from Spotify or wherever cassette mixtapes. And you know, I've got a whole Esprit mixtape here on my Max L2s. I've got a whole George Clanton mix of my own mix, favorite songs, track lists, make the order how I want it to go. So it's always fun to do. All right, some serious vapor now. We got Windows 96. Great, like computer software type of samples. It's like all instrumentals. Yeah, if you know, you know. If you don't, you don't. FM Skyline. Quip. What is this one? It's got a long name. I Dreamed of a Palace in the Sky. Recently just kind of turned on to this I watch, this is another 100% electronica release, which I highly encourage everyone to go check out, 100%electronica.com. Bunch of great vaporwave and synth pop releases on there. And yeah, that's how I found out about this. They have a podcast, I watched that. Let's see, this is Sire, I think that's how you pronounce it, Sair. This is like kind of like trying to sound like, where are you, Freddie Jackson? Where's my Freddie Jackson album? Or Billy Ocean would be another good example, but kind of like classic, here we go, classic like 80s R&B pop. Yeah, I don't know. If you don't know Freddie, like, if you don't know this is pretty obscure, but like Michael Jackson, say, or that kind of, or like DeBarge, that kind of like 80s pop, like this is like trying to sound like that, and they nail it. They absolutely nail it. Oh, Waterfront Dining, the king of plunderphonics. Maybe that could actually label go to Haircuts for Men as the king of plunderphonics, which is great trip hop. And this is more trip hop. This is more like 80s soul, funk, R&B samples, but in like the heavily chopped up and reverby vaporwave style, and it's amazing. He's got like 70 albums or something on Bandcamp. Just prolific output, and the vinyls can be expensive if you don't get them on their drop dates. This is the only one I've been able to get so far on Aloe City Records, which they normally get released through Flamingo Funk Records, which is based out of the UK, and and you also have to pay expensive shipping. I live in the U.S., so I don't end up buying a lot of those because it ends up being $40 or $50 for each record, and I just can't quite justify it all the time. But here's another one that I did end up buying off of that record. Tupperwave, Marina. Great, like, brochure, vacation-y type vaporwave music. Haircuts per Man, the best. Duet, which is more kind of like, let's see, like brochure type of, or, you know, mall jams, kind of, or classic cheesy 80s goodness. It's, and you know, I say cheesy as a good thing. Cheesy is a good thing. Nightwind. This is going to be more similar synthwave to, say, something like this, Calm Trues. Everybody should know who Calm Trues is. Come on now. We got that one too. This is a really bad quality of... Actually, I'll just stop there, because then my genres here kind of change. But this is a DJ Shadow really introducing a classic trip-hop album. It's in really bad condition. I bought it off Discogs, and the guy did not grade it accurately. Okay, goodbye.